Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news in a move that could shake up the NFC East and really change the playing field for the Washington Commanders. There are whispers of a blockbuster trade involving Tristan Wirfs, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' star offensive tackle. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This sounds like a fantasy, right? But trust me, the rumors are gaining serious traction, and the potential impact for Washington could be enormous. We're talking about a player who is not just a solid OL piece, but someone who could elevate the entire line and give the Commanders a real shot at competing at the highest level. Let's dive into why this hypothetical trade has so much buzz around it, and what it could mean for the Commanders' future. First off, Tristan Wirfs is a premier talent, a guy who's been recognized as one of the best offensive tackles in the league. He's a guy who brings both skill and durability, which are two crucial aspects for any team looking to build a strong offensive line. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, on the other hand, are in a bit of a rebuilding phase. After a couple of seasons where injuries and salary cap issues have forced them to make tough decisions, they're now prioritizing youth and cap flexibility. Sources close to Adam Schefter have indicated that the Bucs are actively accelerating trade talks, especially with the goal of moving some of their veterans and making room for younger talent. The team currently sits at a 6-6 record, and with cap space of around $7 million, they're looking to maximize their flexibility for future seasons. The focus seems to be on acquiring draft capital, specifically a third-round pick in 2026, and they're eager to make moves before the 2025 season begins. The timing is interesting, especially after the trade deadline in early November, which could be when such a blockbuster deal might happen if all the pieces fall into place. Now, why would the Commanders be interested in Wirfs? Well, for starters, their offensive line has had its share of struggles, especially on the blind side. After injuries and inconsistent play, there's a real need for a stabilizing presence, someone who can anchor that line for years to come. Tristan Wirfs, with his elite footwork, quick release, and ability to hold the edge, fits this mold perfectly. He's got a pass protection grade of 94, one from PFF in 2025, which is elite. Over 450 snaps, he's allowed just 1 sacks, something that any quarterback would love, and he wins 82% of his battles versus edge rushers. His footwork is so smooth that he often releases in just 1/8 milliseconds, making him nearly impossible to beat cleanly. And it's not just pass protection. Wirfs is a dominant run blocker, creating over 6.2 yards per run on pulls, and he's been a core part of the Buccaneers' offensive success in the run game. Throughout his career, he's earned 3 Pro Bowl selections and has been rated as an elite run blocker with a 91% grade. That kind of versatility and consistency is rare for a player so young. In the 2025 season, he's also shown flashes of being a legitimate receiving threat, with 1 reception for a touchdown and a focus on double-team shedding, which allows him to be more than just a blocker. He's an offensive weapon. Picture this. The Commanders' offensive line, already talented but sometimes vulnerable on the blind side, suddenly gets a massive upgrade. Wirfs would be a cornerstone, someone who instantly stabilizes that line. His presence would add at least 3 seconds of extra protection in the pocket, a huge boost for any quarterback, especially in clutch moments or when facing tough pass rushes. This extra time could lead to a 20% increase in EPA per pass attempt, and it would help the running game explode, pushing rushing averages to around 140 yards per game, a significant jump from their current numbers. What makes Wirfs even more appealing is his versatility. He can line up at right tackle or left tackle with equal effectiveness. Imagine the possibilities. If the Commanders need to switch things up against tough opponents, they can do so without losing much of their effectiveness. That kind of flexibility really turbocharges their play-action game, opening up more opportunities for deep shots and misdirection plays that keep defenses guessing. And let's talk about the postseason. If such a move happens, Wirfs could be the X factor that pushes the Commanders from a good team into a real playoff threat. His ability to protect against edge rushers like those from the Eagles in clutch situations would be instrumental. When the game slows down and every play counts, having a player like Wirfs, who can hold his ground against the best pass rushers, could make all the difference in forging drives of 90 yards or more, especially in tight playoff games. Now, some of you might be asking about the cost. The Buccaneers are trying to cut costs, and moving Wirfs could be a strategic part of that plan. The question then becomes, what would it take to bring him to Washington? Well, considering the value he provides, it would likely involve a combination of draft picks and perhaps a player or two to sweeten the deal. But the potential benefits far outweigh the investment, especially when it comes to strengthening the offensive line for years to come. Let's also consider the ripple effects. Bringing in Wirfs would send a strong message to the NFC East and the rest of the league. It's not just about plugging a hole, it's about making a statement. The Commanders are serious about contending, and they're willing to make bold moves to do it. A player like Wirfs could also boost the confidence of the entire team, inspiring the offensive line to play at an even higher level, knowing they have a proven, elite talent anchoring them. Of course, all this remains hypothetical for now, but the signs point to a real possibility. With the Buccaneers looking to rebuild and the Commanders eyeing a push for the playoffs, this trade could be a game changer. And let's not forget, Washington is already building a solid foundation with young stars like Sam Howell at quarterback and a talented defense that's been improving throughout the season. Adding a player of Wirfs' caliber would be the final piece to truly elevate this team into serious postseason contention. As we approach the second half of the season, the NFL landscape is always shifting. The NFC East, once dominated by the Eagles, has become more competitive, and teams like the Commanders are looking for ways to leapfrog their rivals. If this trade becomes a reality, it could set off a chain reaction, prompting other teams to get aggressive in the trade market and raising the level of competition across the division. It's a thrilling time for Washington fans, who are eager to see their team make bold moves and climb back to the top. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, is this really going to happen? Well, nothing is set in stone yet, but the signs are there and the potential upside is huge. If the Commanders can pull off something like this, it would be a statement to the league. They're serious about contending, and they're willing to go all in to make that happen. Imagine a line anchored by Wirfs, giving Howell the time he needs to make those big throws, opening lanes for Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson, and creating chaos for opposing defenses. That's the kind of upgrade that could redefine what this team is capable of. So as fans, we should keep our eyes peeled over the next few weeks. Trade rumors are swirling, and the NFL deadline is always full of surprises. If the Commanders can land Tristan Wirfs, it would be a move that resonates for years to come, elevating this team from a talented squad to a legitimate Super Bowl contender. The NFC East is already one of the most competitive divisions in football, but with a player like Wirfs, Washington could be the team that takes the crown and makes a deep playoff run, perhaps even chasing that elusive Lombardi trophy once again. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster trade? Do you believe the team should go all in and make a run for Tristan Wirfs? Or do you think it's too risky? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the team, and we love hearing what you think. Remember, we'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. This is a team that's always evolving, always fighting, and with moves like this on the table, the future looks brighter than ever. Let's keep the faith, keep the passion alive, and get ready for an exciting ride ahead. Go Commanders!